Alright, welcome back. Eric Arnold here on a Monday afternoon in the sports barn. Well, we're going to recap our weekend and give you some, 7 college basketball picks here for Monday. Thanks for being here. I guess our last video, we took a nice ride through the night on the tractor for no reason whatsoever. I'm basically, as far as the picks go, I think I'm just going to go on strike until this virus is over, until they let fans back in the stands, because my little model's so screwed up. I'm so screwed up. I can't pick winners. If I throw this right now, it probably won't hit anything, and I'm inside the barn. I cannot hit anything. If I throw this, all right, I can't even get that right. It did hit something, so we just can't get anything right. Sunday, what we had there for you, was it Sunday or Saturday? I guess it was Saturday. College basketball, we had 4 winners and 2 losers, as the opposite came through pretty well for us, doing just the total opposite of what it normally would do. And some of this was complete, opposite. As where I'm going for a walk and I'm not even watching some of these games, and I'm thinking to myself, Ohio State has no chance at all. I mean, there's no way in the world they're going to beat Wisconsin. And sure enough, Ohio State not only covers the spread, they win outright. Villanova, same deal. They were way down. They were down 20 points to Providence. At one point, factoring in the 11-point spread, and Villanova covered. The Creighton game, this one, we had it at 7.5. Creighton won by 8. The number then, we got the best of that, I think, in that the number went up to 8.5, 9. I'm keeping it because I need wins. So we're keeping that. I think with in other words, if I get the number at 7.5 overnight, and that's what it is, then that's what it is. And if it goes up and you end up getting a higher number, sorry. I mean, I know that's gone the other way on me a couple times where I've gotten like 10 points, and then the number goes the other way on me, and you end up getting a better line, and you win, and I tie or lose. Anyway. Mick Cronin does what he normally does, fails to cover, so we lost there. Tennessee, that is a bad team. I don't know why that team's in the top 10. I can't see it. They just look like they are a talentless team. So I don't see that one there. They got crushed. But then Gonzaga, I guess they decided to really hang one on somebody just to, I guess, justify their number 1 ranking. They beat Pacific by about 80. So there, 4 wins, 2 losses. And then again, we failed. We failed to do the opposite. We gave you what we really thought, and of course those were 2 losers in the NFL, as we had Green Bay and Buffalo, which will not be the Super Bowl this year. Instead, of course, it will be Tampa Bay and Kansas City. The opposite stems from a famous Seinfeld episode, if you don't know that, where George Costanza, a loser, much as myself, can never get anything right. Nothing goes right for this guy, so he decides one day, I'm just going to do the opposite of everything I would normally do and see what happens. And then everything starts going right for him. He asks a girl out, where normally he would lie to her. He just walks right up to her and says, hi, my name's George. I'm unemployed and live with my parents. And she's like, hi. He meets George Steinbrenner, and normally he would suck up and kiss his ass, but instead he tells him what an asshole he is, and George Steinbrenner says, hire this man. So everything starts going roses for George when he starts doing the opposite of what he normally would do. So I think that's what we're going to just try to do. Just pick the teams I would not normally pick. This is COVID. This is everything is left is right, up is down, right is wrong. So that's what we're going to try to do going forward, at least for a couple days, until that doesn't work. Then I don't know what the hell we'll do. Let's see. I was going to mention our tractor video. Didn't have that many views on it, but I guess when you take it as a like to view ratio, I guess it's one of our best videos we've made yet. So that, maybe that's what I'll strive for now. Quality over quantity. I don't know. You know, I like it when the like button gets pushed. I like the, you know, positive feedback. In my little safe space, I need positive feedback. So I don't know what we'll do next. I have an idea what we'll do to pick the Super Bowl winner. I'm keeping that to myself for this episode, but I know how we'll pick the Super Bowl winner. I saw Peter C. stop by. The great Peter C. He's one of the originals. He's one of the original Magnificent Bastards. If we organize the Magnificent Bastards into sort of like a military organization, he'd be a colonel or something like that. He's definitely up there in the leadership. So thanks for stopping by, the great Peter C. Let's see, who else? I saw Henry Aaron died. You know, I don't like acknowledge every last person that dies because people are dying all the time and it's hard to keep up with them all. But Henry Aaron, I guess, definitely deserves a special mention. Frankly, I'd like to see, you know, more of a retrospective of Henry Aaron. I was wondering about that. You know, I guess it's an age thing. In other words, yeah, all right, he was 86 or something, and you know, he was going to go sooner or later. And I guess we got about half a day or maybe a day of Henry Aaron, the great Henry Aaron, holds a lot of baseball records. Used to hold, and many people would say he still does, of course, the greatest record of them all, and that's home runs. We got maybe a day, you know. Kobe Bryant dies, a week. I mean, they just about shut the country down, or at least the sports world down, for a week. You know, now I guess, you know, maybe you get an extra day or two because it was so shocking that, you know, he dies young and Henry Aaron lived a full life. But, you know, still, I mean, I would argue Henry Aaron is worth 10 Kobe Bryants. That's just me. And maybe that's because I'm more of a baseball fan than a National Basketball Association fan. But, yeah, Henry Aaron, I mean, he, you know, the only thing you wish you might have seen more out of him was on a good team. You know, he just, he piled up the stats. He's a great player. He just wasn't on a very good team. But, you know, he broke Bruce's record, something that nobody thought would ever be done. Plus, he holds all kinds of other records. I think he still holds the record for RBIs. Don't quote me on that. I'm saying, you know, for all I know, one of these roid guys that broke that. That's another bad thing about Aaron passing, is that a lot of these elderly class guys, the greats from the 40s and 50s that are passing away, they're keeping the roid guys out of the Hall of Fame. These guys hold a lot of sway up there, and they're some of the reason why some of these fickle sports writers haven't put in the Bonds and the Clemens and A-Rods of the world. Now, you know, some of these guys are dying off, and you know, some of these older guys have made it pretty clear they don't want them in there. They don't want them in the Hall of Fame. They don't belong in the Hall of Fame. Those guys are like, hell, I hit my 755 home runs. I hit them naturally. I didn't cheat. I didn't roid or do any other artificial stuff that make me hit the ball further. So, hell, they wouldn't even let me play when I was a young player. You know, Henry Aaron's got to be thinking that to himself. They wouldn't even let me play when I was 17, 18 years old because of my collar. You know, they didn't have to deal with that. So, yeah, I think that's a little sad now that, you know, we're losing this greatest generation of players, and what are we left with? Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez. Hooray! Anyway, salute to Hank Aaron. There probably will never be another one of him. All right, what's left? Let's do Monday. We covered the weekend. I didn't update the scoreboard. You know, it's depressing to me, so I'm not going to update it today. We'll get around to it. It's probably about 500 in college basketball. It's probably about 500 in the NFL. Depressing. But like I said, I'm blaming all my mediocre record on the pandemic. Joe Biden assures me that that's almost over. So, hey, you know, I've never known Joe Biden to lie to me. So it must almost be over. All right, where were we? Okay, we got an early game here. I think this is 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon in the Big South. We're big Gardner Webb fans, in case you didn't know that. Now you learned something. And normally we'd never lay 12.5 points. But this is not normal. This is up, down, left, right time. So we're going to lay the 12.5 at Gardner Webb against Charleston Southern. We had Charleston Southern earlier in the year, and they literally lost, I think, by 38 points. So, you know, they must not be very good. So I'm kind of hoping they, you know, once again don't show, and Gardner Webb gets a nice, comfortable 15-point win. Southern Illinois, they've been off 3 weeks. I think teams coming off these big, long stretches of inactivity do not play well. That's what Conor McGregor tells me, in that's his rationale as to why he got beat as a 2-3-1 favorite over the weekend by Dustin Poirier. We were arguing about how to pronounce that Sunday, and I don't know the correct answer. At any rate, he got beat, and he said it was because of this long layoff where he hadn't fought for so long. So, Southern Illinois hasn't played in forever, like 3 weeks. Therefore, I figured they got no chance. So we'll play them. We'll take the 7 points and play Southern Illinois. We got 1 star on that. We got 2 stars in Gardner Webb. Once again, the more stars, the more confidence I have in a game. If we're doing it the opposite, would that mean that I have lesser amount of confidence, perhaps? I haven't quite figured that one out. I don't know the answer to that one yet. Virginia, they're just so the notorious BLP always reminds me that one of the reasons I went to Ohio State is because I wasn't smart enough to get into Virginia, and they rejected me. I always forget about that, but he always reminds me. He says, you hate Virginia because they wouldn't let you in. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I forgot. I do hate Virginia because they wouldn't let me in. So I should not be playing Virginia here because I hate Virginia because they wouldn't let me in. But that probably means is there's a lot of smart people in Virginia, smarter than I am. So that would seem, right? They wouldn't let me in, so they must be smarter. So I figured the smart kids must be able to figure a way to beat out Syracuse, right? So we'll lay the 7 with Virginia. A bunch of smart kids down there will figure out a way to beat Syracuse by more than 7 points, I'm thinking. Okay, into the Southern Conference. Believe it or not, this is one of the better mid-major conferences out there. The SoCon. The SoCon. Look at this, the 88. Furman is 88 in the Ken Pomeroy rankings. That's pretty good. There's only 350-some teams in Division I. So you're talking about a team that's in the top 25-30% of the country there. And Furman, I bet you didn't know that. So they're a 5-point favorite over Greensboro. I think we're just going to play Furman just based on the fact that they're in the top 25-30% of teams in the country, and we're only laying 5 points. That seems like a deal. So we'll do that, 1 star there. All right, here's the rest. Let's I guess we didn't circle these because we want to have some mystery here. Oklahoma State, Iowa State again, coming off a huge layoff. They're, I think, pretty much the consensus choice as the worst team in the Big 12, getting 3 points. Oklahoma State, they're 38 in Pomeroy rankings. That means they're pretty good. There's no way in the world Iowa State could possibly compete here. So we're going to take Iowa State and put 2 stars on that. There's no way in the world Oklahoma State's actually pretty good. How on earth can you even come close to these guys if you haven't played in 3 weeks? You haven't played anybody, and now you're playing the 38th best team in the country. There's no chance here. Therefore, we must be Iowa State. It must be. All right. Texas Tech, Chris Beard versus the Huggy Bear. The Huggy Bear. Bob Huggins. This game's at West Virginia. This is simply we avoid Bob Huggins for whatever reason. We avoid him. So we're going to take him here at home. I don't know. I guess if you're going to say anything about Huggins, I think he has a pretty good home record. So we'll go ahead and say Huggins gets it done at home in front of no fans. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are in all these states. Like at that Green Bay game, there actually seemed like there were a half decent number of fans there. But then at the Chief game, it seemed like no one was there. So I don't know. I'm sure, of course, it was all done with science in mind. All right, lastly, Arizona State, they're 72 in the Pomeroy rankings. Arizona's 27 in the Pomeroy rankings. So that's opposite, 27, 72. Therefore, we're going to call this the Carlton Fisk game. This is the Carlton Fisk game, 72-27. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Carlton Fisk, Hall of Fame catcher for the Red Sox. He left in, I believe, 1981 to go to the White Sox. I think someone already had 27 on the White Sox, or he just wanted to mix it up. So he took his 27 and he reversed it, and then he wore 72 for the rest of his Hall of Fame career with the Chicago White Sox. So this is the Carlton Fisk game, and we are going to take Arizona in the Carlton Fisk game. Why? Well, they have nothing to play for. They're self-punishing themselves. Does that work when you go to the NCAA and go, all right, man, this is looking bad for us? I mean, you got guys that have been put in jail, that have been employed by us. This investigation's been dragging on for 2 years. This doesn't look good. So we're going to punish ourselves. We're going to punish ourselves. I'm going to go sit in the corner myself. Hey, look, I'm just putting the dunce hat on, sitting in the corner myself, and I'm going to sit here for, 15 minutes. How about that? 15 minutes, I'll sit in the corner, and then we're good, right? We're good. It'll all be good, right? All forgotten. Does that work? I guess we'll find out. Arizona's decided they're not going to participate in the Pac-12 or the NCAA tournament this year, so they got nothing to play for. I don't see how we cannot play these guys. Nothing to play for. They're punishing themselves. They're a mess. We must take these guys. So we'll lay the 4.5 with Arizona. All right, so there you have it. Gardner Webb, lay the 12.5. That's a top play. Well, a top play for today. Virginia, Iowa State, then we fill in with Southern Illinois, Furman, West Virginia, and then Arizona. All right, what's left? Like I said, I'm going to try to throw some other little bells and whistles in these videos now that I'm spending less time handicapping these games, not spending hours and hours and hours on it just to lose. It's like, what the fuck, what's the point of that? So I'm going to try to maybe mix it up, put a few bells and whistles in the video. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Anyway, thanks for being here. Hit the like button if you would. or not, but I like it when you hit the like button. And, well, we'll see you probably tomorrow. Thanks, Eric Arnold. Oh, wait, I forgot. Gotta do this. Let's try not to hit the stop button. This is my solution to the visibility problem, in that I don't know what we're doing here. Can you see that? Oh, there, that's better. Now, if you're saying, well, why don't you just take a still picture of it and throw it on the video editor and slap it on the end of it? Well, I could do that, but that takes a while. You know, it takes the video editor like an extra half hour to render the video, and that, you know, it's another half hour out of my day. So this is for smooth. Smooth, I did clean the board, just making at least the panel in the middle, and it was an effort too. But I just wanted to say that, you know, so hopefully you can see this. All right, thanks for being here, and we'll talk again.